Hey guys, what's up? It's just Connor here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about three things. Number one, why you hate sales. Two, why you're losing money because of it. And three, how to get rid of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Now, why does everybody hate sales? Why does nobody like salespeople? Why, when you find out that someone's a salesperson, you already go, I don't want to talk to this person? Or when you walk into a retail store and someone says, can I help you? And you go, no, I'm just looking, thanks. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. Or when you know that someone's a salesperson, you already basically have negative connotations or beliefs with that person. Why is that? All right, well, let's go back a bit, back into the 80s and the 90s, right? Back in the early 80s, 90s, 70s, right? The reason, sales got a bad name or a bad perception or, a belief about sales being bad is bad car salesmen. Because car salesmen, from my understanding back then, sometimes in those times would be selling you cars, used cars that aren't going to work for you anymore, right? Or they're selling something to you that's not going to be of benefit to you, right? That's pretty much, long story short, where the used car salesman term or name kind of comes from, right? Or that belief kind of comes from, right? Or even back in the Wall Street days, for those of you who've watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street, most of you probably have, with Leonardo DiCaprio acting as Jordan Belfort. That's a very popular movie, and in that movie, right? Obviously, they talk about becoming very good at sales, but they force stock down prospects' throat or potential customers' throat, right? They're selling people into stuff that they don't want or need, or more importantly, it's not actually going to help them, right? There's a famous scene where Jordan's talking about selling some company called Aerotime, something like that. And he's talking about, how it's amazing and it's the newest technology and it's fantastic. It's going to help people, rah, rah, rah. It's a huge company. It's the next best thing. It's cutting edge technology. And they throw up a photo of it's a company actually with two brothers in a very small, shitty type shed, right? This is where it comes from, right? People think that salespeople are out to get you. They think that salespeople obviously are out to wrong you, right? They're out to force and press you into a decision that you don't want to make, right? That's where this belief kind of comes from, which I'm going to break down why that's totally not true. The reason why it's totally not true is majority of the time, right? Most salespeople, especially if they have a good conscience, are selling something that actually serves people. Now, what I mean by that is back then, now selling people or salespeople it might be very common to sell people into things that they don't want or need or can't even help them in the first place or might be a scam, right? Now, as you're probably aware, there are many services, products, coaching programs, information, education out there that's going to help people get from where they are now to where they want to be. Whether or not that's insurance, whether or not that's solar, right? To help people have, better energy bills, right? To take back their control of their electricity, right? Insurance to ensure that if something were, God forbid, to happen to them or their loved ones, that their family is going to be okay, right? Maybe it might be business coaching. It might be helping someone with their business get out of their own way, right? And this is what I'm going to talk about here in a second. So another two examples, obviously business coaching is, helping a business progress further and get the right skills that they need to grow their business and become a better business person, right? That impacts their family, right? That impacts them, that impacts their personal finances. It bleeds across to even selling fitness coaching, right? I have a student that's selling fitness coaching that did 23K in commissions in a single month just 2 months ago, right? Now, why is that so important? Is because sales is serving, right? Selling is so important because it's helping people get out of their own way, especially the way that I teach it, especially the way that my mentors have taught me. It's to help people persuade themselves as to why they should do something, right? Let's take a classic scenario of a fitness example. If someone's overweight and they come to you, they've expressed their interest as they need to lose the weight and they get on a sales call with you. It's now in your ethical and moral obligation to sell that person to the best of your ability, because if they get off that call without buying what you have, right, without purchasing and becoming a customer or client, They might continue to have bad health habits. They might not go to the gym. And more importantly, they're going to work their way to an early grave. Who does that affect? It's not just them. It's their family. It's their parents. It's their children. It's their friends. It's the people around them. And so this is what I'm trying to get at. Sales is serving as long as you're selling something that actually helps people. And of course, they actually want what you're selling, which in most sales environments is generally the case, right? We're talking about 80 to 90%. Yes, there is 10% of the scams out there. But like again, for example, if you saw a company that had 1,000 plus positive reviews and you saw 100 negative, right? Probably not 100 negative, but maybe like 10, 15 negative. Would you continue purchasing that program? Probably most likely yes, because at least 90% of people have success with it, right? If there's a 98% success rate, would you continue doing it? I would say yes. So you need to shift that paradigm in the way that you view sales, as it's not gross, it's not slimy, it's not sleazy, it's serving people, right? I still have people, I shit you not, that I have sold 4, 3, 2 years ago that outright tell me to this day, like, Connor, thank you so much for helping me overcome my limiting beliefs and helping me get to where I want to go and take the leap of faith that I couldn't take myself, that you helped me do. Because they're either doing 20K per month in their business, right? Or whatever I may have sold. I've sold many, many things over my time, my sales career. People still outreach me to this day saying, thank you for helping me jump over the ledge, right? Because like I mentioned, again, sales is serving, and you need to reshift that paradigm of usually, most typically and likely, people are losing something without having access to your program, product, education, whatever you might be selling. So it's incredibly important, and it's your ethical and moral obligation. If you believe in what you're selling, if you believe in the business that you're serving, you have to get the best you can at sales, because if you don't help people overcome their limiting beliefs around weight loss, their business, life insurance, right? All these other types of things are extremely important. And if you don't think that, then sales is definitely not for you, right? Because sales is for people who want to help other people. And I've obviously get rewarded pretty handsomely for it, as you've probably seen in my previous videos. Okay. Now, why is that losing you money? The reason why this mindset is losing you money is because whether or not you run your own business, whether or not you don't run your own business, whether or not you work for another company, sales is a skill that can help you with everything. It bleeds into your relationships, your friendships, networking, more development into career opportunities, right? Whether or not you're working in a completely different field that's not even related to sales, right? It's all relevant, and it all comes back to the less better you are, or the less skilled you are at persuading, the skill of persuasion and helping people persuade themselves, is you're leaving more money on the table. Whether or not it's your business, right? You're not selling enough people into why your program or product is the best thing in the world, and they may be working with a competitor or no competitor at all, and they're staying in the same situation that they were before they first spoke to you, right? That's a problem. Whether or not you want a raise in your career, how to ask for the raise, right? How to persuade your boss for a price increase, for an income, right? A salary rise, right? A pay rise, right? And there's many, many so instances that it's super, super important that, dating, right? Whether or not you're, want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or maybe you want multiple, right? You can do all of that with a skill as sales. And that's even, for example, for the charitable good, if you really think about it. For charities, right? Charities have to convince and persuade large businesses and people with a large amount of money to help them and their cause. And without that skill, they're kind of fucked, right? So you need to make sure that, again, you have these skills to persuade, influence, and help people get out of their own way, and help them persuade themselves as to why you are better than any of your competitors, if that's truly what you believe, right? Okay, so the last thing here is how to get rid of it. How do we get rid of this and abolish this mindset? Walk away from this video knowing that, again, sales is helping people, it is serving people. I've objection handled people for 2 hours plus, not even just for the commission. I wanted to see if I could do it, but more importantly, I wanted to help the person overcome their limiting belief when it comes to starting their own business and making money online, right? At the end of the day, sales is serving, right? And to readjust that position, that mindset, is to understand that without salespeople, businesses don't happen, right? And it's probably one of the most important, if not the most important thing or pivotal moving piece in any business, because without salespeople, they can't convince people to buy their stuff, right? Newsflash, right? So with that said, think about sales differently. Don't think that sales is this sleazy thing, right? A lot of the times I see these businesses or people like salespeople like to call them, account executives or business development representative or, all these other fancy names, senior advisor, senior executive, whatever it is. And they're all trying to be, not associated with the word sales. I love being associated with the word sales. Obviously, it's something that I teach, and that's obviously what I do for a living. But a lot of people do, sales in the world just as I do. So, again, don't feel like it's a gross term. It doesn't have to be. As long as you're helping people and serving people in the right way, then sales is absolutely, basically, your ethical or moral obligation to get good at, so that you can serve people on a high level and get people to where they want to be, from where they are right now to where they want to go. Okay? So hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.